The best thing about this movie is that it's unpredictable in a way or two. Welcome back, folks. Grab your popcorn, dim the lights, and get ready as we review Bhool Bhulaiyaa 3. Now, the movie has been doing considerably well and has entered the 150 crore club in its first week itself. But is it a spine chilling horror comedy or just a hauntingly disjointed mess? Let's dissect. As I mentioned earlier, Bhool Bhulaiyaa 3 is unpredictable. And no, I don't mean it in the oh wow, this is so cleverly written kind of way. I mean it in the
What just happened?
is this a horror movie or a sitcom kind of way? Spoilers ahead, so buckle up. Now, the Bhool Bhulaiyaa series has always been an interesting mix of humor and scares. It started with the 1993 Malayalam film Manichitrathadu, which was later remade into the 2007 Bollywood hit. That film struck like a perfect balance between the supernatural and comedy, given the fact that there was no supernatural and it was just a psychological thriller with comic elements here and there. But then Bhool Bhulaiyaa 2 came in like the chaotic younger sibling, bringing in black magic, jump scares, and a heap of over-the-top fun.
ये तो हमारे से भी ज्यादा हरामी है।
घंटा अंतर्यामी है, ये हमसे भी बड़ा हरामी है।
But what about Bhool Bhulaiyaa 3?
इससे तो सीधा मौत होगी भाई, ये शापित है।
Well, let's just say it's a bit like that kid who's trying too hard to be funny at the family reunion.
नेटफ्लिक्स कौन चालू किया रे साला?
Kartik Aaryan is back as the charming, albeit fraudulent Ghostbuster Ruhan, or as he likes to call himself, Roop Baba. He's hired to clear out a haunted palace in Roktoghat, and as usual, things go south faster than you can say Monjulika. There's reincarnation, royalty, sibling rivalry, and even a ghost who's more interested in a throne than actually scaring anyone. And yes, there's only one ghost, which leads us to the return of the forever radiant Vidya Balan as Malika, a restoration expert who may or may not be the infamous Monjulika. I mean, Vidya can act circles around most of Bollywood, but here, it feels like she's in a different movie altogether. She's still fantastic, but the material doesn't really do justice to her acting talent. And then there's Madhuri Dixit, who enters the picture as Mandira, the potential buyer of the mansion, but surprise, she's hiding something. At this point, you might think you'll get a chance to think about who the real Monjulika is, but you are just thrown off weirdly by flat comic scenes. Speaking of underused talent, we can't forget about the ever-reliable Vijay Raj and Sanjay Misra, who are relegated to the background. Their comic timing could have been the saving grace of this film, but instead, they are just there, filling in the gaps in a plot that doesn't quite hold up. However, I will admit that Vijay Raj has this one line about wanting to take on the ghost, but not another day of poverty. That was pure gold. Now, Kartik Aaryan does his best to hold it all together.
Manju, I'm coming for you.
His performance is charming and he's got the comic timing down to a T. But here's the thing, the jokes, for the most part, it's like the writers wrote these jokes thinking, hey, let's just throw in a pun here and a stereotypical reference there and hope people laugh. But folks, you can't just bank on Karthik's charm to carry an entire film. The much anticipated Ami Tomar face-off between Madhuri and Vidya would have been iconic, but it just fell flat. The choreography was lofty and rushed, and it just felt like a flashy scene which didn't have any depth. Imagine the movie's pacing and screenplay were so erratic that even two powerhouse performers struggled to make their performance felt. As someone who has watched and rewatched the OG Ami Tomar featuring Vidya Balan and Vineet, and of course, Shobana's graceful performance in Orumurai Vunda Partaya, I was really disappointed. Finally, we talk about that twist. It's bold, it's audacious, it's ridiculous. I mean, I did not expect it coming, and that's the best thing I can say about it. However, the problem? It staged so clumsily that it fails to evoke any real emotion. Nobody could have thought that Manjulika was a man. Yes, an average audience member could surely think that Bollywood is going 2 steps forward. But when you rush such topics, you might as well take a step back. Visually, Bhool Bhulaiyaa 3 is sticking to the formula. Spooky mansion, dark corridors, eerie sound effects, and enough CGI crows to make Hitchcock roll in his grave. It's the kind of atmosphere you expect in this franchise until it starts taking itself too seriously. The shift from light-hearted comedy to actual horror feels jarring and at times forced. To sum it up, Bhool Bhulaiyaa 3 is a film that's caught in its own Bhool Bhulaiyaa. The horror isn't scary enough, the comedy isn't funny enough, and the plot quite doesn't hold together. Sure, there are some fun moments and performances, especially from Vidya, Madhuri, and Kartik, shine through, but the overall experience is a little bit of a letdown. If you're a die-hard fan of the franchise, go ahead, grab your popcorn. But for anyone else, maybe just save yourself some time and stick to rewatching the first one. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to go and figure out what really happened to Manjulika. Like, share, and subscribe for more reviews, and I'll see you in the next one where hopefully the only thing haunting me will be my bad jokes.